Welcome to Torio. My name is John Cordy. I've lived here for 13 years with my wife, Anita, and we discovered this place because we were traveling all over. We actually did a 3-year driving trip all over Central and South America, every country in Central America, 3/4 of South America, and 22 states in the US, looking for our final place to settle down. And we'd already been in Latin America for 8 years at that point, living in Argentina, lived on the island of Roatan off of Honduras, and we lived in Antigua, Guatemala. So we had some experience down here already. But that 3-year drive was unbelievable. Every city, every town, every expat community, crossed every river, up every pig trail, everywhere you could imagine, we went. So we've kind of already done your homework for you. We're on the sunset coast of the Azuero Peninsula in Panama, and we're the only place in Panama that one can experience the sunset into the ocean every night. Well, every night that it's not cloudy. So it's a stunning, beautiful coast. We have the ocean in front of us, the mountains in back of us. Because we are on the windward side of the peninsula, we get the most rain. Rainy here throughout the rainy season, which runs from May through the end of December, and then the dry season begins. We love the rainy season because it's fresh, beautiful, cooler, and just fun to watch the weather. And the temperatures range anywhere from the high 70s here, high 70s to the low 90s, sometimes up into the mid 90s. Humid, we're humid because we're on the ocean and we get a lot of rain. You know, because of the terrain, because of the where it's situated, the weather, the mountains, the ocean, etc. It's idyllic for people who love nature. The things to do here are so varied, it's just amazing. Most of the wonderful things are outdoor activities. If you like hiking, we've got hiking trails, got unexplored areas where you can go hiking on your own. We've got waterfalls galore. There are probably 10 major waterfalls along this coast that you can go back into the mountains, find gorgeous, beautiful waterfalls with swimming holes down beneath where you can cool off in the nice swimming hole. We've got horseback riding. We've got 2 stables, 2 different stables here with beautiful horses. They'll take you on rides down to the beach. They'll take you across the rivers up into the mountains for fantastic riding adventures. We've got, obviously, surfing is huge here because we're one of the top surfing spots in Panama. Playa Murillo is known internationally and attracts surfers from all over the world to come down here and surf these beautiful, beautiful waves. We've got Playa Murillo, we've got Playa Torio, Playa Reina, Playa Plaza, several beautiful beaches for surfing. Altogether, we've probably got 22 beaches from Mariato, north of us here, all the way down to Cabro, which is that 25-mile stretch of the beach. Most of those beaches, you'll never see a footprint on them, so they're very, just amazing to go visit. Each one of the beaches has different environment. For example, we've got a couple beaches where you can go shelling, find lots of beautiful shells. Several beaches where you find driftwood. I like to say to the locals, look, there's $1 million sitting down there on your beach. All you have to do is go down, pick it up, and make beautiful things for the tourists. In addition, we've got to the surfing. The water sports are numerous. You can go paddleboarding up the beautiful estuaries. We have, I don't know how many estuaries, but you can take the estuary, get on a paddleboard or a kayak, go up the estuaries, which are surrounded by old forest full of monkeys and toucans and parrots and all kinds of wildlife. Great adventures. Just offshore here from our house, we see mother whales with the babies, teaching them how to fish, and whales all around the islands out here. So whale watching and porpoise watching is a big adventure. You can catch a boat, go out to the island, go around the island. There's a couple of villages there, a couple of small Airbnbs. At the south end of Sebaco is a beautiful white sand beach that sometimes gets separated from the mainland because of the rising tide. Otherwise, it's a great place for snorkeling. It's also a great place to just take your picnic lunch and go out on the beach there, and you're out there totally by yourself. One of the reasons we're down here, it's kind of an adventure for us. It's isolated. It's also insulated from things like crime. We have no crime here, virtually no crime. We don't have bars or on our windows or concertina wire like you might see in other parts of Latin America. Very, very little incidents of any crime. maybe a gardener might walk away with a screwdriver or something like that, but it's safe. We don't lock our doors typically at night. We don't lock our cars. Always been perfectly safe here. So that's a really nice feeling. Our community, there's no central area where, like a little town where everybody is and everybody gathers. We're spread out on a 25-mile stretch of the beach, of the coast. And so the neighborhoods are all spread out. We have several small developments with anywhere from 10 to 15 homes in each development along this coastline. So there are many rental opportunities, short and long term, depending on what you're looking for, depending on what your budget allows. We've got the rentals available. We're not a huge area and we're a new area, so we don't have a tremendous amount of inventory. So it takes a little work, a little searching around to find what you might be interested in, but I'm sure we'll find it. For example, you can find 1, 2 bedroom casitas or bungalows available for $300, $350 a month. You can find some near the water, near the beach, or up in the mountains. You can find 2, 3, 4 bedroom homes on cliffs overlooking the ocean, or up, beautiful ocean views in the mountains that range anywhere from $700 to $1,200, $1,300 a month. So a wide range of rental options available. And obviously, because we're a new area just being discovered, lots of opportunity for buying lots, for buying a few homes on the market here. As I said, we don't have a lot of inventory, but we do have some. But lots of opportunity to buy lots in developments or lots out on your own from a farmer, local farmer, who are interested in selling their pieces of their land. Some of it's really, really beautiful. So you have to look at what's important to you. If you buy a lot from a farmer, you've got to think about roads, electricity, water, all the infrastructure that you'd have to put in and the cost of doing that. If you buy a lot in one of these smaller developments, they've usually got all the infrastructure already there, electricity, the roads, water, drainage, etc., and they're just ready to go. So lots of opportunities for small lots, anywhere from, I would say anywhere from 1,500 square meters or even 1,000 square meters up to 4,000, 5,000, 6,000 square meters, which is like an acre, acre and a half. Lots of those available. And if you want a larger plot of land for homesteading, we've got those. They're not in developments typically, but we've got several who have carved out 20, 30 acres and have the roads in and electricity and are good opportunities for homesteading. So we are an hour from Santiago, which is the largest city near us. Population probably 25 to 30,000. All the facilities, hospitals, grocery stores, Price Mart, hardware stores, everything you'd want in a mid-sized city. So this is where we do most of our shopping. There is a town called Mariato, and this is the Mariato district we're in. It's sort of like the county seat. Mariato is a small town, I'd say 3,000 to 4,000 people, a couple of grocery stores, a bank, a couple of hardware stores, a clinic where you can get medical attention quickly if you need it. Panama City is about 4.5 hours, so it's a long drive to Panama City to catch a flight out. However, you can get a plane here. We do have a little airport in Santiago that services Panama City. The flights are not as frequent as you'll find in larger airports, but planes are available. In the 13 years we've lived here, we've seen this grow from a really isolated, very quiet fishing village, small expat community, mostly older retired people who had discovered it like we did. In the past 5 years or so, we've had more young people move into the area, young families with children, young married couples. The vibe here is laid back, quiet, still, even though we've got about somewhere between 400 and 500 expats living on this 20, 25 mile stretch of the coast. Torio is sort of the hub of the 20-mile, 25-mile stretch. It's got a few restaurants, it's got a few little shops. It doesn't have much. However, more and more is coming because of the younger people coming here, creating jobs for themselves. Some of the older retired folks like us have even jumped in, and we've started opening businesses and creating more jobs, more infrastructure, and essentially more for the tourists who are coming down, but also for the people who live here. We have our monthly market. That's a market where the folks bring homemade items, jewelry, clothing, bread, jellies, you name it, once a month to the market, and usually get a turnout of 60, maybe 100 people that come from all over along the coast. And this is an area or a place and a time, an opportunity where you can meet up with others and get to know other folks. For example, one of the businesses thriving here is we have a dragon fruit farm that was started by a guy who's been down here for more than 15 years. He's started various businesses, but he's finally ended up with this huge dragon fruit operation. He's just now being inspected by USDA so that he can export to the United States. But he sells dragon fruit all over Panama. Very successful business. The other business that I'd like to point out is we've got a goat farm. This goat farm generates income in several ways. One of the ways is they do farm tours for families and kids that can go milk the goats and pet the goats and see how the operation works. They use the milk to, their primary business is soap. They make soaps, beautiful soaps with all kinds of designs, and they ship these soaps all over the world. But the farm itself is quaint, it's small, it's beautiful, the owners are great, and they've figured out how to make a living down here on the Azuero Sunset Coast. As I said earlier, we're getting more and more young families into the area, and some of them have children. And so they're looking at what are the school possibilities or opportunities here. Right now, very limited because we don't have that many families with children, school-age kids. Those that we do have, many of them do a homeschool. There's a teacher here who has formed and put together a kind of a nature school, does it 2 days a week with the kids. He takes them around to the beaches, to the jungle, on hikes, introducing fruits and vegetables, teaching them about nature. And it's a really, really great opportunity for kids to learn about outdoors and everything involved in the outdoors. Most of those kids are doing homeschool, and some of them are even enrolled in the local Panamanian schools. As far as medical facilities, everybody wonders about that. We're an hour to major hospitals and doctors into Santiago, but we're only 15 minutes to Mariato, which is where our Central Salud, our clinic, is, and you can get care there. You can get emergency care there, nothing extensive. If it's an extensive emergency, then they take you on into Santiago, but minor things and quick emergency things, they can take care of you. The prices are great. I mean, the last time I went in there, I had a cut. They sewed it up, they patched it up, cost me $3, even with the antibiotics that they gave me to take. But in Mariato, we've got fruit and vegetable stands, which, they bring in all the fresh fruits and vegetables from all over the growing areas in Panama, so it's always available. Amazing prices, actually, compared to what we pay in the States, and abundance of fruits and vegetables. So just 15 minutes away for that. A lot of people here grow their own. We've got a couple of farmers here in this area who sell a lot of greens and various vegetables. That's even fresher because you get it right off the vine. Lots of fruits here. We're blessed with wonderful fruits. I've got papaya trees right here in my yard. We've got 13 giant mango trees around our house. My gardener has to pick up 200-300 mangoes a day during the mango season and get rid of them. We use a lot of them to cut up and freeze and use for our mango margaritas or mango juice later on throughout the year when we don't have the season. Right now in this area, there are 15, 16 different dining options, beginning with the local fondas, which are the Panamanian restaurants. A lot of us love the Panamanian restaurants and the Panamanian food, but we also have more upscale restaurants, several in the area, Italian restaurants. We've got pizza places. We've got one restaurant that does Asian and Italian food. I have my own restaurant here. It's a Tex-Mex restaurant. We're from San Antonio, the birthplace of Tex-Mex, and people absolutely love it. It's called Olé. Right now we're closed for vacations and renovation. We'll be open again August 24th, and love to have you come join us for the fabulous Tex-Mex and great margaritas. 3 years ago, the government came in and paved a brand new road all the way from Atalaya, from the main highway, or Santiago, all the way down to the tip of the peninsula. So we have now today the most beautiful road, I think, in all of Panama. They have 2 road crews that are constantly on the road, even 3 years after it was constructed, who go along and do the weeds. They take their weed eaters. Every day I go out and I see the road crews working on the sides of the road. They pick up the trash. This is the most beautiful drive in all of Panama, because as you're coming down from Atalaya, coming down the coast, you've got the mountains on one side, the ocean on the other side, and a beautiful, what we think it's like a super highway. It's really not. It's just a beautifully paved road, well kept, no trash. This is probably the only road in Central America where you're not going to see any trash. And the ride down is gorgeous. It's an hour from Santiago, from the main highway, to Torio itself. The main road is really the primary paved road. There are a few paved roads shooting off of the main road on the way down here. Once you get to Torio, though, the roads that are shooting off into the Torio village, where there are probably somewhere around 75 to 100 houses, those are dirt and gravel roads. The roads that go back into the mountains, again, are dirt and gravel roads. Pretty well kept, most of them. And you know, we have both of our vehicles are 4-wheel drive because we like to get off road and go explore and find different areas. But you can literally get by if you stay on the main road, and just a few of the little roads you can get by with a rental car, for example. If you do come down here in a rental car, try to get one that's a little higher off the ground. And if you can get a 4-wheel drive, get a 4-wheel drive, because you may want to explore and do some adventures like we do. If you happen to come to our area, what you'll find is there are many places to stay. You know, since you're an hour away from the main highway, and you're going to come down here to look, you'll want to stay for at least a couple of days, and lots of options for lodging. We've got many, many Airbnbs. You can go on Airbnb and search them out. Tons of those. We've got a property manager, a couple of property managers here who also have rental listings, short and long term. We've got, I think, 5 or 6 now, sort of eco hotels, each with anywhere from 5 to 12 rooms. So lots of opportunities for rentals here in the area. I hope you've enjoyed this virtual tour through the Sunset Coast on the Azuero Peninsula here in Panama. We've covered a lot of ground. There's a lot more to see. It's nothing like seeing it in person. So if you get the opportunity and you're so inclined, please come down. Let us know you're coming. We're happy to spend time with you. And it's been a real pleasure presenting this area to you. Any questions, get in touch with Panama Relocation Tours and Jackie Lang. We hope to see you soon in Panama. Safe travels.